Hello, and welcome to Have At Us, reviews for your pleasure, where we share our honest thoughts, opinions, feelings, often hot takes. And I'm Nietzsche.
I'm Joshua.
And this is bonus episode 7, Final Fantasy Endwalker, a Newfound adventure, part 2. We covered part 1, which is everything that really comes out in 6.1. But this is 6.15 now. We went through all of that content. If you're thinking this is kind of late, it's because we waited for the Beast Tribes. Everybody's favorite thing. Now, before we begin, we invite you to have at us. All our social media links are down in the description. And since I already started on Beast Tribes, that's where we'll start. We are going to spoil these things.
Beast Tribes were dreadful.
Dreadful?
I hated it.
Wow. I don't know that I hated it by any stretch. Let's hear what was so awful, though.
I think a lot of the daily quests were just not fun to get in and do every day. I got the stupid one where you have to go into the cart and then go throw the 3 colored balls at the people in the other town. Like, I knew which ones went where, but I hated doing it. It was just such a pain in the butt. It wasn't fun to do the quests.
Now, did you get the throw in colored balls in Palakistan frequently? Was that, like, often?
Yeah, it was pretty often.
Oh, I've only done that, like, 3 times.
Oh, I did it almost every week.
Oh, that's like once a week. That's not even that bad.
No, I mean, like, every day.
Once a day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
Basically every day I was doing it. And then there was the stupid ones where it's like, oh, go out into the ocean and then go pick up things. Like, none of this was fun to do. The only ones that are okay are when I can just go kill something real fast.
There's only like 2 of them.
But there's not a lot.
Oh, there's 3 that I know of.
I can only think of 2, but...
So there's one where you gotta kill the lizard thing, where you gotta set the bait and kill it up over there in Palakistan area. And then you gotta kill the bugs. Not because they're threatening, by the way, because they scare the hippos. But they won't attack anything.
The poor hippos.
And then there's the one where you set bait again and you're getting like a vine. You're killing the plant things.
Oh, yeah, I remember
It's called Do It for the Vine.
Yeah, how clever.
Nobody ever necessarily thinks that all these references are clever. Sometimes they are, but that was not one of them.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind that. I just think the content itself for dailies is boring. And it doesn't necessarily take a long time, but they're a bit spread out. And the map isn't as big as some other maps in the game. But it's not very fun. It's just tedious to get through. And that's just doing the dailies. And then it came to the story content, and I didn't care about any of these people. I don't care about your problems. The hippo conundrum. I don't care about these hippos. The mount reward at the end isn't that exciting of a mount, so it's not like I'm like super motivated. Just all around not a great Beast Tribe.
How many Beast Tribes have you done to completion and paid attention to?
Like story-wise?
Yeah.
2, though I've completed like 4 before this.
I have done all of them, and have paid attention to all of them, and this is far from the worst. Like, far from the worst. It's not good by any stretch.
Now, what's the worst one?
The worst one is probably the kobolds.
I
really hate the kobolds. The story of it is stupid and everything. We're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
What's important is that this Beast Tribe is fine. My quest that I got all the time wasn't necessarily every day, but it was probably 70% of the time, is the kid whose cart has broken down way up there north of Palakistan.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
gotta fly. Well, I watched people walk to the thing. I flew back over to the little thing and then carried it back over to him.
Yeah.
Almost all the time.
Yeah, I did that one a lot. I started towards the end getting the one where you have to go and put on like the elephant head and then run talk to the guy, then come back.
Oh, I've never got that.
Oh yeah, it's just obnoxious.
But no, the major problem is almost always I got my quest up near Palakistan or in Palakistan, and then I got one over here in the Great Work, and then I had one over here on the other side almost every day. I kid you not. And then it's just like, there's no good way to do this. This is stupid and annoying.
Yep.
But I agree, a lot of these quests sucked, but I expected more of them to let me kill something.
That would have been nice, seeing as how it's a battle job.
I thought that, like, this was gonna be we're defending them from something, or, like, we saw the cards and I was like, oh, we're gonna have to be escorts or something at some point, and, like, help. No, none of that. Didn't do any of those things. It felt like it could have just been a crafter quest, where you could just reworked it a little bit, and all we were doing was, upgrading the carts and facilities so that they could, do their thing. And it would have felt better, I feel like. But that's not what we got. I don't think the story was very good. But I like the moments with my raw girl.
I was going to say that she's the one thing that I didn't hate.
Ogoy or something?
Yeah, I don't know how you say it.
The raw woman. I liked that, but I liked her side story when we went through it. You probably didn't pay attention to it.
No, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really interesting. Like, I think that she was good, but then she comes in with the stupid elephant hat thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I have one of those too. That's cool. I don't know why you are wearing that.
It's a good disguise.
You look like an idiot, but it's pretty funny. And I think if you talk to her outside of one of the scenes, she's like being all encouraging, and she's like, yeah, we gotta do this because, I suffered through wearing the hot elephant head outfit. And I'm like,
that's your own fault.
You did that to yourself, woman.
I think she was alright. She is interesting, but it helped a lot that we had a little quest chain before the Beast Tribe that is mandatory to do the Beast Tribe. That's why I read it, because I was like, oh, this is mandatory to unlock this. I guess I should read this.
Oh, I thought you'd already done it.
Nope.
Oh, see, I did all this crap way back.
Yeah, I did it.
On release.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, if it's mandatory, it's probably relevant. So I read it. I'm like, you're okay. You have some interesting development. I understand you. You're now raw, so that gets a bonus point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, alright, you're fine. Well, you get to, like, Trina, or however you say it, the boss. And I'm like, you're not interesting. You're just kind of like the kind person in charge, and you have no real personality that interests me. And then you have, like, Gasa, who just runs up all the time. It was like, boss, news. And it's like, okay. I don't know, it just felt like every time you ranked up, it was just kind of the same formula. I didn't really feel like the quest you were doing felt that relevant to the story. All around, I don't know. It's just kind of a boring time. I kind of like the area, I guess, as you unlock different parts and open it up and make it look nicer. It's a decent design.
I like the look of it. I don't like that before they put up at the very end, the stupid goal start finish things is what they called them. That those are just wooden things that have holes in them, but you can't fly through those holes, by the way. No. Why would you be able to do that? Oh, because it's a solid thing later. Got it. That's stupid. But I like the music a lot. In this little area. Yeah, I really liked it.
I listened to it for about 2 days, and then I went back to my mute button.
Wow, that's sad. Now, I know that you were very, very excited that the card player was unlocked kind of early.
I don't even remember who the card player is.
They are standing in front of the little hut thing that is where the hippos get to bathe.
Oh, yeah, I was so excited. Man, I just pinpoint on that, ran over there, got 12 cards. It was crazy.
I mean, it seems like most people got the card in 3 or less wins, but...
Well, I got it in 0 wins, so...
Yeah,
feeling pretty good.
Uh-huh, because you haven't even played them. The card player is, like, decently designed, but it's just another, like, here's a plus deck, and they have all plus cards, and I get it. This is kind of annoying.
I bought the card, though.
You bought the 1 card?
Yep, I bought it.
Yeah, there's 2 cards.
Yep, I only bought 1.
Yeah, because the other card is the card player.
Yeah.
Neither of these cards is, like, really that grand. Like, the hippo card is It's like, I guess you could use this if you want, but I have every other card in the game, and I already have cards that I like.
How would you feel if they introduced like a regional deck rule where you could only play with cards from a region?
That sounds like draft for the open tournaments, except worse. And draft gets really old. I do like one open tournament every like 2 or 3 weeks, just for the MGP achievement. Or, not achievement, the challenge log. That's what it is. I have all the achievements for Triple Triad, so...
Gotta keep up.
It's not hard at this point until you introduce alliance raids, but that's fine.
How did you feel about the race at the very end?
I wanted to know if you chose different options than what seemed like a good idea, did you lose?
That's what I was wondering.
Now, what did you choose? Did you hold it all till the end?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's what I did.
Because I was like, this is clearly what you're setting up for me to do. Really simple. I almost tested it, but then I was like, but then I might have to watch a cutscene again. And I'm not doing that, so.
It was something. Like, I didn't hate the race at the end, but it also felt like something that should have been a crafter thing.
Sure, my problem with it was mainly that Akala, the Gajasura, was just so boring of a character antagonist figure that I just wasn't interested. I was just like, this is a really boring person to have to interact with. And it just kind of made the race not very exciting, especially when it's like, we know you're going to win. There's no real surprise. I like that it lets you choose, but again, like the option was really easy to figure out.
Yeah, I just want to know if you can fail. But I also wanted to know if you could fail on the other ones, where there's all the, like, go give advice to whatever nervous kid over here who doesn't know how to do anything. So we sent him on deliveries.
You can fail, but then you just talk to him again and choose the other option.
Oh,
I didn't. I was like, click, click, click. Oh, this one. Nope. This one.
I always chose the right option on those. And I always made sure to choose the same option again. Because I thought I should just risk it and see. And then I was like, nope. I got things to do. Yeah. I have no time to waste on this crap.
Exactly.
And so I didn't.
Yeah. But you get him out at the end. It's a hippo with the cart.
Now, I hate this mount. I hated it when I saw it. I thought, maybe it's fine to ride in. Right? Maybe it has a cool, special action. No, those are lies. It feels garbage to ride in. I just feel like we hyped up how fast the hippos are. They're like, whoo, yeah, fastest hippos ever. And I'm like, yeah, and your mount feels 4 times slower than everything else.
It feels slow, but to me it feels really stiff. It just feels like the cart and the hippo are all just one piece.
Yeah, they are.
And it just doesn't look right to me, especially when you're flying. It just looks real stupid.
Well, the wheels still spin while you're flying, like you're on the ground.
I'm okay with that. I just don't like how stiff everything is. Like when I take off, it feels like the beast should go up first, and then that would pull your car after it once it's, started on its incline. But it just feels like a long piece of wood that I'm riding. I don't know. It's not very good.
I agree. I don't like it. I don't like the special action because it can only be used on the ground. And I get it. It's a ground-targeted action. But I just wanted it to be like I could just throw colored balls at people. Like, I just feel like that could be fun. You're flying around throwing colored balls at people.
Yeah. That would be okay. It'd be better.
But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
It kind of just sucks. I don't think the rainbow one at the end is any better. I don't know. I have nothing else that I need to say about the Beast Tribes.
Just kind of a chore to get through. Like, it's not, like, truly terrible content because it's fast. But it's still just like, okay, I'm just going through the motions.
I just don't get how, like, everyone I've done, which is too many of them, there's always seems to be, like, one quest that you're just stuck with. Except for A Realm Reborn, because those are different, and you do a lot of the same quests, but the structure is radically different, so it doesn't feel as bad. But man, it just feels like it all the time. And I just don't know how that happens.
Well, in this game, RNG is not real. It's all pre-programmed, I feel like sometimes. How many times do you go into a boss with a 50-50 mechanic, And it's like, well, we're going to do this mechanic 90% of the time. Okay, sure. Or when you're mining or something and it's like 85% chance and then you miss 3 in a row.
My favorite is I think I have missed all 4 gathering attempts with a 95%. I kid you not. I was floored.
Statistically, that would be so unlikely.
It is unlikely, but it happens.
That's amazing.
And people meme on it. I've seen people joke about it and stuff because it's just stupid.
It's just weird. Like, I don't even trust it when it says 100%. Some part of me is like, nah, I'm still gonna miss.
No, I trust 100%.
Well, while doing custom deliveries, I'll have you know I'm not well geared.
Oh, I'm sure you're garbage geared. And
yeah,
you're gathering.
Yeah, I'm gathering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing botanist. That's the only thing that was 80. And I had like level 78 gear on and stuff. I had not much, but I still managed to do this custom delivery every week. I just had not a high success chance, so it made it really interesting.
So you get your collectability up there high enough, and then
yeah, and then I'd have 2 swings, and then I'd miss, and be like, all right, try again.
That is not the experience I had because I crafted on my culinarian because it was at 90 and other things were not, and I went purple crafter scripts. But that's pretty simple. Once you remember how crafting works, because when you do it like once every 6 months, you're like, oh yeah, these buttons all do cool things. Yep, great, I understand how this works again. And then it's fine. Like, you buy your things and you do it. So, that's fine. Customs are whatever. This is the first customs you've done, though?
This is the first time I've ever done one. And I'll say the experience, way better than the weekly, or the daily beast tribes. I thought it was much nicer, just like every Tuesday you get on, knock it out. Doesn't take that long, really. Even with bad gear, it didn't take that long. It was kind of short and sweet. It wasn't particularly interesting per se, but it was unoffensive and short. And it didn't take long to get through the cutscenes. And so it was just fine. Like, I'm like, alright, knock it out. I like how it feels like you're making progress constantly. Every week it's like, oh, you put 3 in, and then it's like, oh, here's a cutscene. And it always felt like you were progressing pretty easy. So that's kind of nice.
They are nice and quick, and they only take a month.
Yeah, not bad.
Right. And that is pretty beneficial and decent. I like the start of the story with Amalise, right? Is that how we're saying her name?
That's how I say it.
Great. We're both probably wrong, but that's fine. Where Amalise is just like goading Rowena into it.
That was the best part.
That was pretty funny. I just like the, like, it goes like black and white. Well, I guess it's more sepia is what it is, isn't it? It's like a sepia scene, and she's like going through, and it's like, well, wait, no. And then she's like, oh, wait, no, I'll help you.
Yeah.
But only Warrior of Light is the only, and you're like, woman,
of course.
You realize I could kill you right now. No issues. Hit you upside the head with this frying pan. You will die.
It's an enjoyable start. It's funny. It's a little creative. It shows some dynamics with the characters. I think it's a good, strong opening. And then we kind of get to the actual story, and it's really cliche. Like, oh, look, I'm here, and we're going to take care of you, and you're going to learn because you want to learn. And you're not doing great, so we'll encourage you. And then now you're doing great. Now you're leaving. End of story.
Most of them are pretty much that. Like, they're just kind of their own short little sweet thing that doesn't really matter. The best one is the Ruby Sea one.
Is there one in the Ruby Sea?
Yeah, I don't remember what her name is. Kurine or whatever.
Huh?
Princess girl.
Oh.
Yeah, so she gets her own little thing. And it's a little more unique.
I didn't even know that was one. I should do that one. I might do that.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I think that one's better. The rest of them are all, kind of just like, okay, this exists, and I did it.
Yeah, I would say the reward was way better. This glam piece, I really like it. I'm using it. I was like, oh, this may be the best quest reward glam piece in the game. I really like it. I
like it a lot, but I'm like, I don't know. Do I need to make something with this? Not really. But I like it. It dies really well.
Yeah, it does.
I messed with it this morning after I had got it, because I didn't really have much time to do anything else. But I still had a decent amount of time before work. And then, I like it. But she came out in it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I was surprised.
I legit was impressed by it. It was really good.
Yeah, so I at least feel like I got a good reward out of it. Dressing up Amelise is, I did it.
Did you?
I did it just because. The part that I thought was funny is that she, you do the quest and then she's like, oh yeah, you can just tell me what to wear kind of thing. It's like, preferably something that would make Forsafont blush. And I'm like, why did you do this? Why did you put that in the game?
Because they are intelligent enough to know that people have for weeks been making comments about it.
Yeah.
People are big fans of being able to dress these people up and make people look real sexualized and awkward.
Yep.
And I 100% know that's what's happening with her. Because every week you load into, old Charlion, and every time just like comments about how great it was going to be to dress her up and what they were going to make her look like and awkward things like, I don't know how we're going to explain this to the twins. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Degeneracy.
At its finest, it was too much.
Yeah, but overall, custom deliveries, probably the best part of this patch.
The best part, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
What is the worst part?
The beast stripes.
The beast stripes, okay. Well, I was hoping that was going to segue, but
Nope.
it didn't segue for me. So we are going to go to Taturu. Mm-hmm. And how I felt like this was just ARR fetch quests. It just felt like you added in this thing, you built up the hype that Taturu was getting her own little thing, and then it was really short, and it just felt like I did some ARR fetch quests. And I feel like it could go somewhere, and it's going to go somewhere.
Setup is fun.
But without the rest of it, it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it was very short. I got through it this morning, and I was like, oh, I'm done with that one already, huh? Well, perfect. On to something else. But it was kind of uninteresting until the very end. And it's like, okay, something about the necklace. Okay, there's something. And then you barely see Taturu in this quest line. She's there at the beginning and a little bit at the end. It just kind of feels... Yeah, it feels like a setup that didn't deliver anything this patch. And I get that they're probably doing this for all 5 patches. So maybe it'll go somewhere after this, but not the most interesting setup.
You know what was a much more interesting setup? Omega.
Interesting?
Yeah, it's very, very typecast. It started and I knew what ride I was in for. It was a little longer than I thought it was going to be.
It's pretty decently length.
But I don't hate it. I enjoy the, robot trying to understand human emotions thing.
I just feel like it's the exact same thing every time I see it in media.
It is. 100%.
And at this point, I was just like, okay, I get it. Being with Alpha is kind of cool, I guess. I was never super attached to the character. My favorite aspect of this whole thing is that you can find them in the world. I think that's always cool, and you can find them in new spots now, which is cool.
That's fair. I have only found them once. Have you ever found them?
Yeah, several times.
Okay, I've only found them once. I was doing my culinarian level up, and there they were in the room, just hanging out. And I was like, "Oh, hey guys, I like the tropiness of it, right? Because I like that trope. It's fine. Now, does this feel, many days late and many dollars short? Yes, it does. If you had done this, at 5.1, or what would that be? Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Right, if you'd done it there, I think it would have fit better, right? It would have made more sense, it would have still been relevant and interesting. I really think you should have just done it at the 4.55, do that half patch, and just throw it all in there.
Yeah, you could have done that.
Now, you wouldn't have had, the areas to go explore, but this didn't do anything. The areas weren't special.
Yeah, it's just run along this city that you've been through. Okay. I liked that you got to talk to the guy that saw his son die. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think you'd ever come back. But it's cool to touch upon that. That's probably the best part to me, was that's an interesting concept of, having to watch your child die in this strategy, and you're alone, and you have to find some motivation to continue living and not fall into despair and everything. That's interesting. I like that.
It's interesting. It does some interesting things, but it doesn't delve so far in that I feel like it was really worth my time. Right? They built this up like it was going to be super cool, and I didn't envision it would be, because I feel like they try to make everything sound like it's going to be the grandest, coolest thing, and
that's marketing.
It's fine, but you don't hit a home run every time.
No. The more I do the side stuff and actually pay attention, the more I just go, this is not their strong suit.
Sometimes it really is pretty decent, and it ties itself together pretty well with other things. But a lot of times it's not that great.
Yeah, it's the MSQs were clearly what they put the time into, and that's fair. It's what's important to me. But some of the side quests, it's just like, it's either okay or it's really boring. But I don't know of any piece of content on the side, not including like Alliance Rage or like Rage or anything, but just like a true side quest series that I'm like, oh, this was really good. Maybe the role quests are like the best side stuff.
The recent ones.
Yeah, those were probably the best, but generally it's not their strong suit. I think Omega, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of the robot coming to life thing, so it's just a little like, okay, I get it. It didn't really go anywhere new with it. The last scene, where it's like, oh yeah, we can get the message. Oh, I didn't like the message.
Oh, I knew that was going to be really tropey. I kind of like how he is just kind of snippy and mean sometimes.
Omega's a fun character.
And I like that, it looks like you're about to ask questions. He's like, well, I already know. I'm better than you. I know what questions you're going to ask. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh, I did want to know all of those things.
Perfect.
Thank you for the information dump. Let's go, buddy.
It's a fine quest. It's a little long, and it's a little wordy for not a very good payoff. But it's not awful. It's pretty okay. If it comes back, I'll be interested to see what they do with it.
It needs to go away. It needs to be a one and done thing.
Who knows?
You know what I know? I know that Hildibrand is not one and done.
Hildibrand is never done.
And Hildibrand took a decent hiatus.
Yeah, a whole expansion.
But he has graced us again with his presence.
The Gentleman of Light.
Yeah, that was something. I think it took too long to get to Hildibrand. Like, to interact with Hildibrand. And then I'm like, okay, I guess I don't really want to be stuck with Nashu. Nashu is only good when she's with Hildibrand.
That's fair.
And her by herself is not good. And you had to, inspect his body weirdness.
That was weird, but it's fitting for what this is. It's like, alright, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing with him is when you see him for the first time.
Oh, God.
And he comes out just looking so stupid and acting like he thinks he's so cool, right? And then you've got your two friends with you, and you guys have a volleyball match.
The volleyball was pretty funny.
And as ridiculous as it was, I was like, okay. At least this is kind of creative, and I like that you get to jump up there and spike that.
Yeah.
And the pacing of it is really good, and the shots and the camera angles, it all worked pretty well.
That's a funny scene. I've come around a bit on Hildibrand. The first time I ever did it, I've only ever gone through all of it once. But doing it in the beginning, it's like, this is stupid. And you're just not prepared for how long Hildibrand is. If you don't know, Hildibrand is a never-ending cycle of quests. And you just start to think, is this actually the main game? I don't even know anymore. It's crazy.
It's really bad. Because, yeah, when you don't know, when you're entirely ignorant like I was when I went into it, oh my gosh. You end at 50, and then there's 7,000 things to do, and you start down this path with Hildibrand. And you're like, what is this? This has gotta end.
No, sir.
Maybe? be... I had to look it up at
Yeah.
a certain point just to see what I had got myself into. And then I realized how ridiculous it was. And then I just moved on. And I got through all the patches. And then I went back to Hildibrand. And was like, oh my gosh.
Well, we started playing this game in Stormblood. And so there was just already the All of a Realm Reborn and then 2 expansions of Hildibrand. And it's just so much. It's so overwhelming. And there's like actual content locked behind it, which is what's kind of funny.
I was caught up to Hildibrand before the end stuff of Stormblood, though. So I had done it all and figured it all out, and then I think the last 2 patches of quests for him was where I was at. And then I didn't realize that the card drop rate was going to be complete garbage on the stupid Gilgamesh fight. Oh, and so I got the barding time too. And I'm like, great, I don't have to do that again, right? I was collecting cards, but I wasn't like real hardcore yet. And then I got there and I was like, nobody does this anymore? Great.
You know, I get that place not infrequently on roulette.
I don't know the last time I did that.
Yeah, I don't get it infrequently, and I've seen a lot of wipes in there with people who don't know what's up. Pretty interesting. But as for this expansion, I think this is an okay setup. It felt a little bit shorter than some of the past setup, but it's been a while since I've done like Heavensward, and I don't remember how long that was. But overall, I was like, okay, it wasn't too long. It did take a little while to get to him, but I like the scenes that we get with him there. The humor is exactly the kind of humor you get with Hildibrand. You either like it, or you despise it. It seems to go one way or another. I kind of just accept the ridiculousness of it, and I'm like, alright, let's just see what we get. It turned out pretty okay here. I'm not quite sure where we're going next with it.
I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with it. I like very select things in Hildibrand, and they're few and far between.
That's fair.
The volleyball scene will probably be the only good scene.
For Endwalker, yeah, probably.
For a long while.
Yeah.
So, I also make good faces for my character design. And I just look like I'm about to murder someone and I'm hitting a bomb at someone and I'm like, this is pretty fitting. I look like I'm a little gleefully about to kill Hildibrand. Great, I will gleefully kill Hildibrand.
I don't think you can kill him.
I mean, that was the joke, right?
Yeah.
All the time. But the weird, antagonist thing at the end...
I was just like, what is this?
My hope is that we get, a trial or something out of it.
It'd be cool to get another trial.
Just get something. Don't give me your garbage drop rate, though.
Well, don't ever give me Battle of the Big Bridge again, because that stupid trial that turns you into a chicken, I hate those so much. They're 50, and I often get in on Ninja, so I don't have a good rotation at 50 on Ninja. It's just an annoying job to play at 50. So there's that. And then on top of it, you just get this stupid fight where he's like, begging for, mercy. And then he does his whole thing and is like, all right, here's a minute. And now we gotta be chickens forever. It's just so stupid and obnoxious. I hope that's gone. But if we get something like the Yojimbo Gilgamesh fight, I'd be happy.
His name is Greg, by the way.
It is Greg.
That was a good, funny joke that he made all the time. Greg, my friend. Oh. He was just angry.
Yeah, it's cool that Gilgamesh is a part of the game. I wonder if he'll come back.
I don't know. I don't necessarily need it. I don't really care either way, but...
Now, at the end of this quest, we see an alien. And now, is this the thing from 8?
Okay. We made references to aliens with the one guy while you're investigating with Nashu.
Yeah.
I called that from that point. I was like, I'm not 100% confident, but we're going to add an 8 reference. Because it's Hildibrand, and Hildibrand has to do that. Hildibrand has to have the ridiculousness of it. And I was like, alright. That is the only, side quest thing I've never done in 8. So.
Yeah, I've never done it either.
And it's really quick and easy, I think, if you go and do it.
The UFO stuff.
Yeah, but I never did it. But I was excited. And then I was bitter. And then I just went, let me get this straight. There's a 12-fight raid series that has 1 fight for this game. But Hildibrand gets an 8. Okay. Nope. I hate you all.
You're so hung up on that.
I am forever hung up on it.
I've moved on.
Nope.
I'm mostly okay because on the Savage version, you get Gaia and she just uses all the Omisha abilities. And I'm okay with that.
Just let her be called Omisia.
I'm okay with what they did.
No. I mean, even then, if you want to call that 1.5 fights, like, no. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Hildibrand has this nice 8 reference, and I was really pleased with that.
It was unexpected, but with Hildibrand, that's par for the course. Just an odd bit of content. It feels very unique for an MMO to me. You don't get a lot of weird, wacky things like this. So it's kind of cool to have, ultimately. It's nice that it's back. I know a lot of people really missed it in Shadowbringers, but it probably is for the best. They were already struggling with stuff in Shadowbringers. So, overall, I think it's a pretty okay introduction. Not bad.
Yeah, anything else you need to throw in here? Any other grand, wonderful thoughts?
I don't believe so.
Well, I've also said my piece. It's been a pleasure talking about all of these. A lot of them are just kind of nonsense things here.
Yeah.
And your MILF talk over there.
Yep.
Because I'm sure you dressed her up in a very provocative outfit. I don't need to know what it is. I just know it was very provocative. It was the 2B leggings.
No.
Because that's the meme.
2B leggings suck.
Wow. Anyway, we hope that this brought our listeners a good amount of pleasure about you guys. And we invite you to have at us. You like, you comment, you subscribe, you tell us all about your thoughts on this patch. You post some pictures of Luis. Show us what you did.
I'm looking forward to those, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But our social media links are down in the description.
And there's one more thing. In inspiration of Amelise, I'm going to have you go and dress up your own friend's mother. Hopefully she's still alive. But regardless, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So not only are they forcibly dressing an adult woman up, you're also asking them to potentially go dig up someone.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
What if they got cremated?
You have other friends, I hope.
Okay, alright. Anyway, we would also love to see pictures of that. Unless you did something illegal in the process, and we don't need to be a part of it.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Because as always, we will encourage bad things, but we really didn't. You don't...
Didn't happen.
Yeah, you don't need to shaft us like that. Alright, well, as a whole experience of 6.15, I am going to give this a 6 out of 10.
I will also give this a 6 out of 10.
Have at us.